Welcome to your restorative practice to start or end your day. Join me in Sukhasana when you're ready. Right leg in front of left, hands resting on the back of the knees. You're welcome to use half lotus, of course, if that feels good to your body. But just closing down the windows of the eyes and finding the connection to your center. Breathe in fully and deeply. Exhale, allow the body to release and relax completely. Breathe in and feel the eternal essence of you. And allow that awareness, that connection to spread through your whole body. Just one more breath. And when you are ready, gently allow the windows of your eyes to open. And let's bring hands to prayer, but then interlace your fingers as you breathe in, lifting through your chin, lifting through your chest. On the exhalation, rounding through the spine, tucking the chin towards the heart. And then hold the heavens, hold the ceiling as you flood the breath in, maybe even looking up, before releasing your hands down and around. Please interlace your fingers behind you. Take your knuckles to the floor. Send your heart to the ceiling. Broaden through your collarbones as you open the front of your throat. Staying for one more breath before releasing chin to chest and releasing the hands. Grounding into your left hand. Right hand behind your head if you're working with any shoulder issues, or sending that arm high if the body will allow. Please firmly fix your right hip to the earth as you begin to create a C shape through your spine. Press into your left hand to really open the right side of the torso. Exaggerate the reach through your right arm. You can come to your forearm if it feels like there's room to play with, but not if it compromises what's happening through your pelvis. So anchor through the pelvis, gazing at your left hand or the palm of your right as you take 2 more deep breaths in. One more full breath into right side body. And on the exhalation, gazing to the earth, ease your way up and over as you come into a gentle twist. Right hand behind you, acting like a second spine. And then left hand capturing your right knee as we lift, as we lengthen, as we spiral to look over our right shoulder. Please gently lift through the pelvic floor, draw in through the abdominals, and then flood the breath into the rotation. Take 2 more breaths. One more full, deep, beautiful breath in and out. On the inhalation, return your eye gaze only. And on the exhalation, release your twist. Bring your feet super, super duper wide and exaggerating the length of the spine as we take a breath in together. And then on the exhalation, with your hands supporting you, please just gently roll through the pelvis, through your ball and socket hip joints, through internal and external rotation, keeping heart buoyant and lifted. Last 2 of these movements, deliberately press your pelvis as you pause. 1 more of these movements, deliberately press your pelvis as you pause before returning back to the midline. Bring your right foot in front and stack your left foot on top. There's a generous distance between the feet and the pelvis. Option to just focus on lifting and lengthening through spine for variation 1. Variation 2, we'll hold on to our knees and use the knees to reclaim our posture. And then final variation, hands come underneath. We hold the feet, we lift the chin as we breathe in, and then we gently begin to release the forehead towards our feet. They don't ever need to meet. Nothing magical happens when your forehead touches your feet. But what I do want you to bring to this moment is the awareness of where you're feeling this. And can you breathe really deliberately into that space, into that place that needs the breath, the prana the most? Just one more deep, smooth, beautiful breath in and out. On your in-breath, please lift just your chin and your chest. And as we exhale, we come up and out of that shape. Sukhasana, second side with your left foot in front, or taking half lotus if that feels safe to your knees. I don't ever want you to feel this in your knee joint. So if you do, please come out of it immediately. We lengthen, we lift, we grow tall, and then we interlace our fingers as we take a breath in together, lifting the elbows, lifting the chin and the eyes. On the exhalation, exploring gentle flexion as we press the palms forward, round through the spine and scoop through the belly. Inhale to touch the ceiling, maybe even looking up before touching the opposing walls, releasing your hands behind you. Knuckles to the floor, energize and lift through the heart. Could you make your collarbones broader as you draw your shoulders back and down? One more breath that really floods the front body, the heart open, before gently releasing the hands to the earth. Ground into your right hand. Take your left hand behind your head if you're working with any shoulder issues. And then anchor firmly through the pelvis as we create that C-shaped curve through our spine. From there, only extending through the left arm if it feels valuable, if it feels therapeutic. And you have the option of coming down to the forearm as long as we're not compromising through the level of the pelvis. Press firmly into your right hand to anchor your left hip, rolling open as we breathe in and finding that little bit more length through your left side body, gazing at the floor or the palm of your left hand. One more expansive, beautiful breath into your left lung. Before the exhalation has you looking to the earth, and the inhalation will have you rising. We'll spin, catching right knee with our left hand. Say that again. Right hand to your left knee before anchoring your left hand behind you like a second spine. Please find a little bit more length, a little bit more lightness as you breathe in. And on the exhalation, gently looking over your left shoulder. So the strength of our arms combined with the strength of our abdominals, in particularly our obliques that are responsible for the ability for us to twist. But then deeper underneath that, there's more stabilizing muscles that we want to draw upon. So our transversus abdominis, as we lift through the pelvic floor, will co-contract with these little segmental stabilizers called our multifidus. You don't need to remember those names, just know that they're amazing, and so are you. Take one more breath in and out. On the in-breath, we return our eyes. On the exhalation, we release our twist. Hands behind us, feet super, super wide. Variation 1, hands behind, and we're just moving through that same shape. Variation 2, in a moment, I'll invite you to lift your hands. So if you don't feel like you need the support of your hands, you're welcome to make this a little bit more dynamic. So this idea of you're amazing, right? It's such an overused phrase in our modern culture. But when we really study the body from an anatomical, from a physiological, from an endocrine system, like, we are amazing. We are a walking, talking, breathing miracle. Each and every one of us. Take one more breath, please, as we come back towards your right leg. And then option 1, we're going to ground into the left hand as we encourage the left knee towards the floor. And at the same time, we're encouraging the right knee to the earth. So option 1, just ease into your back hand so it's not as intense. Variation 2, we'll frame the foot. Do you notice how my mat is changing the color of my foot? Lift your chest, lift your chin for variation 2. And then variation 3, we're just descending down as far as it feels good to our hips. So some of us are going to feel this really profoundly through this hip. Others of us will feel it in the other. I feel it through both, definitely. So long spine. And then if there's still some room to play with, you are absolutely encouraged to release your head and your shoulders down. Taking 3 more breaths. So in the shape from the outside, we look passive, but we are still working with the energy of the pelvic floor, with the abdominals. And this right glute has a little bit of action happening through it as well. Taking one last breath, please. Before we gently press the floor away, we retrace our steps. And as we pause in the midline, we are going to bring our left foot forward and our right foot on top. So option 1, hands behind us. Option 2, we're holding onto our knees, reclaiming our posture. And variation 3, we're sliding the hands underneath and gently bowing our head towards our feet. I have a feeling that we should have the other foot on top. What do you think? If you, like me, feel like you've done this side, then we'll just quickly reverse out and swap it over. So right foot on the floor, left foot on top, unless you've done that side, and then you're going to switch it over. So feeling this through, most of us will feel this through the inner thigh, through the hamstring, and also through the back of the pelvis. So those beautiful ball and socket joints, you might feel it there. You might feel it in your sacroiliac joints as well at the back of the pelvis. Taking one more full breath, please. Before we lift our heads and our hearts, we'll bring our feet wide and we're dropping left knee towards the middle of the mat and opening out with the right knee. Option 1, if that's feeling strong, we just lean back into our right hand to take the intensity out of it so it feels appropriate. Variation 2, you frame the foot and you square your shoulders as best as you can to your shin. We find the length of our spine before we descend further, and we can change our mind. So if coming down to the forearm suddenly finds you holding your breath and clenching your teeth, I need you to back out. And if you feel like there's still room to play with, you could stack your hands, release your forehead, but always, always the invitation to change your mind. So in each posture, is my body asking me to move a little deeper? Is my body saying that is perfect, stay exactly as you are? Or is my body asking me to just back off a little bit? And can I cultivate this deep, respectful relationship with my body where I honor and tune in and acknowledge what my body is saying? Please take 2 more breaths. One more full deep breath in and out. On your in-breath, we'll just lift through the head, lift through the heart, pausing momentarily before we turn to the front and bring our legs nice and wide. So from here, please bend your knees as much as you need. An option to have your hands behind you for support. Variation 2, we could lengthen more. We could land the hands on our thigh, our shin, or the floor. So I'd like for you to close down your eyes so that you're just feeling your body. And as you explore moving deeper, just feel how your feet and your thighs want to roll in to make it a little bit more accessible. We're going to roll the feet and the thighs backwards. They're not actually going to roll backwards. They'll just end up more neutral. But as we explore the shape, those 3 possibilities arise. Is my body asking me to go a little deeper? Is my body asking me to hold exactly where I am? Or is my body asking me just to pull back a little bit? Honoring our own bodies, creating this beautiful sacred relationship between the breath, the body. There's 3 more breaths on offer. For 2. 1 more breath as you are. And only when the time is right, we'll lift through our heads, through our hearts, we'll open our eyes and we'll ease our way out. Please tuck in through your right foot. And then taking a moment to decide whether you need to bend your left knee. Your hands are resting on your legs. You're turning your shoulder towards your foot, and then you'll slide sideways, opening side body through the right, opening left hamstring, as well as the back of the right hip. Option 1, hands are here with a bent knee if we need. Variation 2, once again, only exploring taking that arm over top if it feels good. Forearm could come to the floor. Peace fingers could come to your Achilles tendon. On our in-breath, let's just expand and roll open. And on the exhalation, we're just trying to soften somewhere a little bit more. Taking 3 more breaths, roll open. Exhale to soften. 2, remaining, roll open. 1 more. Miraculous breath in and out. On your in-breath, let's just gently rise up before we open and exchange the legs for your last stretch. So bending into your right knee as much as you need to be able to sit tall. Hands supporting you. And then please turn your right shoulder so it's aiming for your right foot. And begin to slide. And as you slide, the moment you feel that through this hip or through your lower back or into your hamstrings, you've arrived. You don't need to go any further. If your shoulder would like and would allow, we'll reach up and over, but not compromising the side body opening that we're exploring. Maybe the forearms to the earth, maybe peace fingers to your Achilles tendon. And then please opening towards the ceiling as we breathe in together. Exhaling to soften somewhere. 3 more breaths, maybe even close your eyes. For 2. 1 more side body opening breath in and out. Please rise on your next inhalation and take Sukhasana so that we begin and end in the same posture. Stacking your ears above your shoulders above your pelvis, feeling the strength of your own body, but also feeling this inner calm, this inner softness. Our yoga practice teaches us how to soften into our strength and how to bring strength to our softness. Breathing in and out through the nose, slowly, smoothly. And could you please deliberately make your exhalation longer than your inhalation? So if you're breathing in for a count of 4, see if you could make your exhalation twice as long. So 8 counts. If you're breathing in for a count of 5, see if you could make your exhalation 10. And notice the instantaneous effect that lengthening the out-breath has on our nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system dials down, and the parasympathetic nervous system has the opportunity to restore, to rejuvenate, to bring healing and balance back to our mind and our bodies. Take 1 more breath like that. And at the end of your exhalation, with your eyes remaining closed, please bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Connecting to the rhythm of your own heart, the miracle that is you. And we take one last unified breath together before closing our restorative practice with a bow. Namaste. Thank you, beautiful yogis. I hope you have a wonderful day. Leave me a comment in the box below if there's anything that you would like to see come into our practices together. Namaste.